So we saw Ghost Stories the other day.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't actually been to the cinema together for a while.
No.
We thought we'd do that.
Yep.
We didn't actually talk about it afterwards because we just went our separate ways. So we thought, we'll do it now because I think it's just coming out in America.
Yeah, it just has a few days ago, I think. Yeah,
A bit of limited release out there. But obviously, if you're an American and you don't know anything about it, then that's why we're here to tell you about it. You want to tell them about it?
I will. Yes. If you're not familiar with what it's about, basically. It's about a professor who, he specialises in debunking like psychics and that, who purport to be able to speak to the dead, and he's given a folder of 3 cases that haven't been solved, haven't been debunked, shall we say. He's given the challenge to prove that they are fake. So we then see him visiting 3 people, and then we flash back to their encounters with the supernatural. And that's it. We don't want to go too much into detail. It's based on a play. Written by Andy Nyman and Jeremy Dyson, and they also directed and wrote the film as well. And Andy Nyman stars in it as well as the professor. And it's it's your sort of classic ghost story.
The play was quite successful over here, wasn't it? I think it was in London for a while, and it was quite a success.
Yeah, I mean it's quite I say interactive, but lots of making you jump out your seat, I think.
Right, okay.
Apparently. But everyone was sworn to secrecy about the plot, I think. If you went to see it, don't tell anyone. I'm sure people did, but I didn't know, how the story was going to play out when we went to see it. But I enjoyed it, and I thought it had plenty of creepy moments. In the plot, it certainly didn't develop how I thought it was going to. I don't know, it's difficult to talk about it without giving anything away, really. So, what did you think?
Well, here's the thing, because I'm obviously a big horror fan, and I'm a big British film fan, and I'm a big British horror film fan.
Right.
So I didn't like it, and I think the trouble is if you've seen a lot of horror films, or like you were saying a minute ago, if you've seen lots of episodes of Twilight Zone, all that kind of stuff,
Outer Limits and things like that,
and you've watched and loved things like Jonathan Creek and all those if you've watched all that kind of stuff, and then you watch this, you might not go with it because I just found a lot of it cliche, and it got to the ending, and I was like, "Oh, they're doing that ending, are they?"
I was like, "Oh, they're doing that ending." And I really liked it.
So it's essentially told in a kind of portmanteau way, which is obviously so you have it's like the kind of stories around a campfire. So you have 4 or 5 stories in a film, and they're kind of bookended with something else going on. Obviously, a lot of I don't think if Hammer Horror ever did it, but if you look at the Amicus horrors from the 1970s, a lot of those guys did it. There's a great film from I think end of the 40s called Dead by Night, which is a really great British portmanteau film. And I think some of the Americans, there are some American films. So it's that kind of idea. So obviously you have lots of, there's these cases that he's given, and they are all different stories. I quite like those stories by themselves, but I would have liked to have kind of found out more about them. I don't think it was terrible, but it just didn't feel that original. And because I'm now at a stage where I've seen a lot of horror films, I like to find originality when I see a horror film. Especially when it comes to, a lot of people have said, "Oh, this feels like a classic British horror film." I don't even feel that personally, which is a shame because obviously, if you go to American horror films, tend to be of the serial killer slasher variety, whereas over here, because we have more of a history here, maybe there's more, and there's kind of a bit more gothic here.
Yeah.
So obviously, ghosts and the supernatural and devil worship and things like that come into play in our history of horror. Which I've always really enjoyed. But I didn't, although they do touch on elements in this film like that, it didn't feel that gothic to me in that sense.
I think, Andy Nyman and Jeremy Dyson are both fans of Hammer and
sure they are.
Amicus and stuff, and I think that's what they were trying to ape.
Were.
So, obviously maybe for you, they've cut a bit close to some of those films, and, rather than do something new with it, they've recycled
Possibly,
it. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of those.
Those guys are TV guys. They originally came off League of Gentlemen, and actually, if you think about it, the film actually feels more like TV. It also feels a little bit like is it Charlie Brooker's
Black Mirror.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
I mean, Andy Nyman's worked with Darren Brown as well on his TV shows, so and that it's very close. His character is a bit Darren Brown-esque.
He's a bit Darren Brown-esque, exactly.
As somebody who doesn't really believe in ghosts and supernatural and stuff, I think I don't know. I was sat there thinking, why do I find this scary? Because I don't believe in what's happening, but I think I still did anyway. I think the end kind of. I liked the end because I was looking at it from that point of view. I can't really say any more without ruining it.
No. But there is also that, just to mention. I mean, there are moments in there which are quite creepy, but they also unfortunately rely on the whole jump scare. A bit, which is kind of. Well, I think there's quite a few jump scare moments in there, which I just think I don't know. I mean, there are films out there that can be utterly terrifying without any jump scares. I mean, there's a great film, there's a great British ghost film, The Innocents, which doesn't rely on any jump scares whatsoever.
No.
But it is utterly terrifying.
I think maybe when maybe not in the middle story, but in the first story, in the last story, you kind of see the ghosts, and I didn't want to see quite as much.
Yeah.
Or maybe wanted it to look a bit more ghostly. It was too. I don't know. I think maybe they showed a little bit too much. So which kind of took something away from it, I think.
Yeah, because I actually, my favourite story is the middle one.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to have seen that one. I would have liked to have seen more of that story because I felt that was almost the closest to British
kind of
horror territory, and that was to me that was my favourite story. And I would have loved to have seen. Maybe they just do a whole film on that story. There's an idea for them. Yeah, that family and those woods and that thing. I would love to see more of that. Not so fussed about the rest of it. That's just me. But yeah, so that was Ghost Stories, and if you've seen it, then let us know what you think of it. Am I completely wrong? Anyway, if you have seen it, then we'd love to know what you think about it, because obviously it is brand new and it's still out.
I think you might be able to catch it in the UK still. We've come a bit late with our review in the UK, but in the States, I think it might be going straight to video on demand. I think it might, you might be able to catch it. I think it's getting limited cinema release in the US. Other countries, well, I don't know. They've got different release dates, so who knows?
They do, yeah.
But maybe you're coming to buy the DVD or something in a couple of months, and you want to know what it's like. This is what we thought. I liked it. He didn't. That's it.
Yeah, follow whichever one of us you trust, and go with that, and then let us know what you did, because that would be cool.
Thanks for watching, and if you like our content, check out some of our other videos, and look us up on Facebook and Twitter, and join us again soon for another video.